call the meeting September 28, 2015 to order. And the first order of business, I'll turn it over to Superintendent.
First of all, we'd like to do a couple of district recognitions here. We've had a young lady and gentleman that we're awfully proud of in this district. First of all, Miss Amanda Ratliff was chosen as one of the candidates for Ashland Incorporated Second Teacher of the Year. I think it goes down to, what, October 20th, Amanda?
Yeah.
Hopefully she'll be chosen as one of the Kentucky Teachers, the Kentucky Teacher of the Year, and we do that. Mr. Hall, if you and Amanda would like to say anything.
If Ms. Bradley would like to say something, I mean, it's an honor to have somebody, they look at 24, they start with 24 and narrow that field. So when you think about however many thousand teachers there are across the state of Kentucky, to have one of those 24 Ashland Teacher of the Year candidates in Johnson County, that's quite an accomplishment. We couldn't be more proud of everything Ms. Ratliff does at Johnson Central. But if you'd like to speak to that, Ms. Ratliff.
I'm just, I'm very excited. I'm very honored. I would like to, first of all, thank my students because, you know, those, it's not something that you apply for. Somebody nominates you and then you get an email in like May saying that you had a nomination and would you be willing to fill out the application. So, you know, that had to come from a kid or from a parent of a kid. So I'm just really grateful for that. I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have had here that, you know, have helped make me a better teacher and the people that I work with. So.
You plan on staying with us?
Yes.
Yes, we've started inspiring our future administrator, Padre Cole Ford here. We've met a couple of times. She's one of the people that have joined up for it. We've had about 20 local teachers that have done that. You know, we want to grow around here, so to speak, and she's one of those, as well as Mr. Wheeler here, who we'll speak of in just a moment. Does another outstanding job, and be someone else we want to grow our own future people here. Of course, Jason Wheeler does social studies in high school, and he was nominated or elected to be 4th of the 5th Kentucky Teacher of the Year. It's 43 districts. Noel sits on this board here, and I mean, Noel, you may speak a little more about that than I can, but if you'd like to say something.
Well, 4th of the 5th was started by Hal Rogers in, I think, 1986, and it started out serving just his 5th congressional district, which used to be more southern to south central Kentucky, and then as they redistricted, he moved into our area. But the 4th of the 5th was started before that shift, so they kept all of the original counties and added these. So now it goes all the way from almost to Bowling, like Clinton County, all the way up to like I think even Carter County. So it's a huge area. It's like all of southeastern Kentucky, and they took nominations for different. They do a whole area, this array of awards. It's called the Appalachian Leaders in Education, and Jason was nominated and selected by a committee as the K-12 Teacher of the Year. So that's, you know, that was a pretty big honor, and they had a very nice ceremony, and he was presented with an award along with like several other category areas, but he was the only teacher that was recognized.
I will say they're both outstanding teachers at Johnson Central High School, and I guess speaking from a parent's perspective, and I know several of us in here children has had both of them, and we know, you know, from a parent's perspective how well they do in the classroom, how much our own kids have learned and things, and you know, I couldn't be happier with saying that I was proud to have my son in either one of the classes, both of the classes in high school. And I think most of the other administrators here would say the same thing here about. And if we don't care, we'd like to get a real quick picture of them and things with the paper here. Ms. Sean will get Jason on. Come up, maybe stand in front of the board here. Stand with the board. Stand with the board.
Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Jason's so tall. That won't work too good.
Well, what we say here, a rose among a bunch of thorns here.
I'll sit at the Eagle Express. Right?
to say anything?
Yeah, just very honored, very humbled to be able to get this award in the county that I grew up in. Have incredible students inside and outside of class with different clubs and organizations that I do, and this award's really a reflection of the students I've had in class and also the leadership that I've had over at the high school from fellow teachers, counselors, administrators. Just a great, incredible place to work, and the award's more of a reflection of where I work than what I do myself. So I really appreciate it.
Next, we'll approve the August 24, 2015 regular meeting minutes and September 16, 2015 special call meeting minutes, and the bills and payroll through September 24, 2015. Is there a motion to do so?
So made.
Is there a second? Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Old business, item A, Mr. Rowland.
As you're well aware of, Black Gap and the high school roofing project's been on hold with KDE. I was in contact with our representative down there this morning. We're still on a holding pattern. We have all the documents in. It's just a matter of the time of getting the supervisors down there to review our documents. We don't anticipate any problem. It's just a matter of when we're going to get it started. So we've sent in documents, and every once in a while sent them in 2 or 3 times on some of them. So we worked hard to get that. But we're ready to go. These people are ready for roofs and the project to begin.
Hopefully they give us the final approval here next week, so maybe between now and our next board meeting, we'll come back and have a special meeting and get that process started.
Item B, Mr. Rowland.
This is a pay request that we have tabled a couple of times, and it's the Murphy Gary's. I think that with what they've got, we've got a letter that says Frankfurt has received everything, so I would recommend that you would pay it. It's up to you.
Mr. Sager, thoughts?
That's up to you. If you want to hold it, we can hold it till we have a special meeting to do that. What do you all like to do? I mean, they have been good to work with here in the last little bit and things, but
I think the concern, Mr. Chairman, was that this 21,000 is all the way state. Right?
we were holding till they got everything finished is basically the reason. We have some, I guess, some leverage, for lack of a better word, to hold over their heads, make sure they do have all the documents and things. If you want to hold it to the next special
10 to
meeting.
12 days.
Yeah, next 10 or 12 days, that'll be fine too.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? There'll be no discussion. We'll call for vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5A, Mr. Sager.
Again, every other year we do a Kentucky tail survey, and based on this past year's results and things, we had 4 schools that received honorable mention in Kentucky tail winter circle. Those elementary schools are Lee Memorial, Flat Gap, W.R. Castle, and Porter, and we're extremely proud of those schools and things for being on that. They competed against some other schools and weren't in the top 12, but we're real proud of what they did. It just goes to show the many good things that are going on here in Kentucky in our schools here in Johnson County. As you know, they talk about some things they report on, which is in your notes, and I'll give you on my handout. I forgot for you here. They talk about time, facilities and resources, community support and involvement, managing student conduct, teacher leadership, school leadership, instructional practices, professional development, and support. And if you look at all ours compared to what the state average is, and generally in every category, we are way above the state average in all those different categories. And I just think that speaks well for our administrators and our teachers and things out at school. Basically, overall, it said my school is a good place to work and learn. Over 93% of the participants said that, as compared to 91% for the state. So We're just real proud of what our schools and things have done. Just want to give that recognition and thanks to them.
Thank you. No action required. Item 5B, Mr. Sager.
Again, you approved last month, the board then approved Murphy Grace and Trimble to start a part of our facility plan. And as part of the facility plan, they have to give us a proposal, whatever the cost. This is based on actual numbers that KED says to use, what they can charge us. Basically, what they're looking to charge us is about half the price, correct, Scotty?
That's correct, yes.
What the proposed contract could be, or what the proposed number could be. And I would ask you to approve that and go with it this time.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Second. Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? There'll be no discussion. We'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5C, Mr. Fairchild.
Yes, we're asking permission from the board to purchase 3 new school buses for the upcoming school year. On that same note, we are looking at purchasing 3. However, we might look at changing one of those diesels to a propane bus once we get some more information. I truly believe that's the technology that's coming through. I've had the opportunity to drive one, and I think Mr. Salyer was a passenger on it. It costs a little more, about anywhere from $8,000 to $9,000, but the benefits, there's about $20,000 worth of parts that's not on a propane bus. It's what's on a diesel, plus the environment and all that stuff. But to me, it's a no-brainer. Once we get the information how we can get it refilled, I spoke to Feral Gas. There's a couple of other gas places that we're going to look at, but I think we're going to lean more toward 2 diesels and a propane. But we'll come back to the board at a later date if we decide to change it.
Mr. Fairchild, the energy savings between the propane and the diesel and the maintenance, I mean, wouldn't that pay for the
It would, yeah. For instance, turbo, we just had to purchase one.
Today on PO, $1,500.
$1,500.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a turbo. You're looking at 27.5 quarts of oil on an oil change for a diesel compared to 7 quarts on a propane. It's actually a gasoline engine, but it just ignited by propane. The safety, it's all been tested. There's a district downstate that has 10. They've had them for 3 years.
If the numbers are as good as we think they are, then, we might look at 2.
Well, the problem that, about buying 2, at this point, I would not send a propane bus on a trip because of the refueling stations. I think some of these U-Haul stations have propane fueling stations. However, I don't know if I want to take a busload of kids and drop them off at a U-Haul fueling station, because things happen. But I truly believe that this is the way of the future. But there's just some details that we have to work out to benefit us.
A lot of companies in the city, probably the most recognizable one here in the area would probably be Swans.
Swans.
They run all their vehicles on propane.
So do we need a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we go ahead and buy the 3 and then come back to the Fairchild?
That would be fine.
On the propane? Motion to do so.
Any discussion? Be no discussion. We'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Fairchild. Item 5D, Mr. Sayer.
School broadcast program agreement. In the past, we've been able to archive and do live sport events also through a program called iHigh. That program is no longer available to us to do that. We'd like to use this program. This is something supported by the HSAA to be able to archive and put our programs and things on that so we can go and look at those. I mean, if you're somewhere with a computer, you can watch it previously on iHigh, you can go and watch us here, and you'll be able to do that same type of circumstance here with this program.
Thank you. Is Is there a motion to do so?
Motion approved.
Motion's been made, is there a second? Motion's made and second, any discussion?
Mr. Sager, could we not film our games live through our
Well,
television network?
basically, that's what we
What we
do,
do.
and then we upload this program, or you watch them live on this program. We do that through Mr. Conley, our TV station over there.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5E, Mr. Sayer.
Again, we ask you to approve the monocellular banking tri-party agreement, which is pretty standard with our bonding and things that we have to do, so that's our agent.
Motion made, Mr. Chairman.
Motion's made and seconded, any discussion? There'll be no discussion, call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5F, Ms. Goble.
I would like to take this time to remind the board that this is the final of the 3 budgets that I present to the board annually. First is the draft in January, the tentative is in May. Fiscal year 16 final working budget as presented contains the best estimate of anticipated revenues and expenditures for the 2016 fiscal year. It's based on the information that we have available on the present time. This budget is very similar to the tentative budget that you guys approved in May. I did change it based on the KDE seek allocation that they provided. That new amount is $17,866,815. And it also reflects the 4% property tax increase that we approved as well. Some other items in the budget is the current board approved staffing and allocated funding, estimates of plant operation and maintenance based on our history and trends, KDE information, and our site-based allocations. All the funds have adequate funding to provide the services specified. The carry forward amount in this budget, when we close the year out, is $7,332,000. It also includes a 2% salary increase mandated by the state, and the step increases that we did range changes. It also has the 3 buses that was just approved. So I'd just like to let you guys know that this is a balanced budget based on the information that we have at this time, but you all know that they can do mid-year seat cuts and stuff like that.
Very good. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? There be no discussion, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 5G, Ms. Coble.
Since the last board meeting, the bid committee opened the bid for coal. We had 2 bidders, and we were at Crescent County. The lowest bidder.
Made second, any discussion? There be no discussion, we'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Coble. 5H, Mr. Young.
I'll have Mr. Jennings here, and I'll speak for him on that again. We want to do this not only for Central Elementary, but for all schools across the district. Through the participation of McDonald's active lifestyle grant here.
Motion made, is there a second? Motion made and second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5I.
Mr. Young would also like to apply for a Reflex grant, and this is for computer software programs in the school. Just ask your permission to do that.
Is there a motion to approve? Second?
Second.
Motion's made and second. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 5J, Mr. Halsey.
We would request approval for 4 student trips. 3 of those are marching band competitions. We're trying to actively get back into a competitive marching band scenario, if you will. We did not compete last year. This year we are competing, and it would be this Saturday, October 17th. They would be at Marshall University, October the 24th at Point Pleasant, and October the 31st at Wise, which would conclude the 8-week marching band season. And then also, and I wish Mr. Wheeler was still here, but he's not, November the 19th through the 21st, we would request permission for our students, along with their sponsor, Mr. Wheeler, to attend the Kentucky Youth Assembly in Louisville. It's modeled after the United Nations. They're given a problem, they do some research, they present kind of a debate, almost similar to FPS type situation. Something new that we're doing this year at the high school. That's something that we've not offered before, so we would request approval for those students also in Louisville.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve student trips? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? There be none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 5K, Mr. Cochran.
He is at 6th grade night, yeah, so.
Again, we'd just like to ask you to approve these community use facilities. I believe it's Hager Hill.
It's Hager Hill Church, he told me, to let you know.
They have all the required documentation. They've used it several years in the past for the rubber years.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 5L, Mr. Youngs.
Again, he's doing 6th grade night tonight also, as well as Mr. Cochran, so they just want to approve for their fall festivals for the school.
Thank you. Is there a motion to do so? Second. Motion's made second. There'll be no discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. You also have the superintendent's personnel report. And with that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for coming out tonight.